Winter stayed too long in the mountain land. Snow covered roofs. Wind shook walls. Hunger sat at every table. At the forest edge lived a poor family in a wooden house. A mother, a father, and children with thin cheeks. They worked all day. Wood, water, cold hands. But the food was never enough. The youngest daughter was Lina, not loud, not strong, but steady. When her brothers cried at night, Lina held their hands until they slept. One evening, the cold sharpened like a knife. The hearth fire was nearly dead. Then a sound came outside. Not footsteps, a slow crunch, like ice breaking. The father opened the door, and everyone froze. In the snow stood a white stag, taller than a horse, antlers like frozen branches glowing from inside. Its eyes were not animal eyes. They looked knowing. A deep voice filled the doorway. "Good people, I know your hunger. If you give me your youngest daughter for 1 season, your house will have food. Your fire will not die." The mother pulled Lina back. "Never," she cried. The stag's voice stayed calm. "Think, I return when the last bread is gone." And then it vanished into falling snow, like a dream ending. Days passed, hunger grew louder. Soup turned to water, bread turned to crumbs. Lina saw her brother coughing at night. She saw her mother staring into an empty pot. On the coldest night, the crunching returned. The stag stood again, glowing faintly. The father's voice broke. "Please, don't ask." "1 season," the stag said gently. "No harm, only warmth." Lina stepped forward. "Father, ask what life I will have." The stag answered, "She will be warm, she will eat, she will be safe." Lina looked at her family. Sometimes love is not a feeling. Sometimes love is a choice. "I will go," Lina whispered. The stag knelt. Its back felt cold. But under the cold, Lina sensed a hidden warmth. They entered the forest. Trees closed behind them. The house disappeared. They traveled far, over frozen rivers, through deep snow, between cliffs. At last, a pale blue light appeared ahead. An ice hall stood inside the mountain, tall, shining, carved from glacier walls. The doors opened by themselves. Inside, the air was warm, like summer. A table appeared. Bread, stew, sweet milk. Lina ate slowly, afraid it would vanish. But it stayed. Real food, real warmth. That night, the stag said only, "Do not fear the dark." Then the lights went out. Not normal. Night. Darkness thick as cloth. Footsteps. Careful. A gentle human voice. "Lina, do not be afraid." "Who are you?" Lina whispered. "I am someone under a curse," the voice said. "I cannot be seen. Not yet." A warm hand touched her wrist, kind, not hurting, and Lina felt loneliness. Days passed in comfort. Each night, darkness came. Each night, the unseen voice returned. They spoke softly about mountains, fear, and Lina's family. Lina began to trust him. Then, without meaning to, she began to care. One night she asked, "Why are you cursed?" A long silence. Then the voice said, "Because someone tried to steal warmth and keep it forever." "The hearth-stealer," he whispered. "She smiles while she takes. She steals the fire inside people, hope, courage, love, and turns it into ice." Then he warned, "If you try to see me too soon, the curse will snap like a trap, and I will be lost." The next day, Lina visited her family. They were healthier now. The stag's promise was true, but Lina's mother looked afraid. "A voice in darkness is not normal," she whispered. She gave Lina a coal-black charm. "The old woman said it will show the truth. Doubt is a quiet poison. It whispers." Back in the ice hall, night came again. The unseen voice spoke softly, then fell asleep. Lina's hand shook as she held the charm. Just one look, she breathed. Blue light flickered, and Lina saw him. A young man, pale and tired, beautiful like winter. The charm burned her fingers. She gasped. A spark of heat touched his chest. His eyes flew open. The hall trembled. "No," he whispered, pain in his voice. "You used fire too soon." "I was one season away from freedom," he said. "I am the stag by day, human only in true darkness. And now, the hearth-stealer will claim me." The walls cracked. Wind screamed. The hall shattered into snow. Lina fell onto frozen ground, alone in a white wilderness. She cried until her tears felt sharp. Then she stood. "I will find you." She walked for days. The cold tried to crush her. An old woman offered gray ash. "This is smoke. It can hide you." "But it costs your comfort," the woman said. "You will not sleep easily." Lina swallowed. "Take it." An old man under a bridge offered a glowing coal. "This is Ember. It can warm what is almost dead." "But it costs your pride," he said. "You must ask for help without shame." Lina nodded. "Take it." A silent woman on a cliff held a clear flame. "This is flame. It can break hard ice. But it costs your certainty," she said. "You will walk even when you don't know the way." Lina's knees trembled, but she reached out. "Take it." Now Lina had smoke, ember, and flame, but no map. She called to the winds. North wind roared, "I'm too rough." West wind sighed, "I've never been there." East wind came, sharp and ancient. "I have been there once," it said. "Climb on." It carried Lina beyond mountains, beyond frozen seas, beyond the edge of maps. At last, a dark glacier furnace stood ahead. Black ice, narrow doors, no windows. Inside, Lina heard a sound like fire being swallowed, and she saw her, the hearth-stealer. She looked like a beautiful woman in white, silver hair, gentle smile, empty eyes. "Ah," she said softly, "a girl who brings borrowed fire." Behind her stood the stag man, still, eyes dull, ice lines on his skin like chains. "Give him back," Lina said, shaking. "3 nights," the hearth-stealer whispered. "3 chances, and you must pay." Lina offered smoke, ember, flame. The hearth-stealer accepted with a smile. Night 1. Lina sat beside him, speaking his name. Nothing. Night 2. Lina held his hand, whispering apologies. Still nothing. Night 3. Lina broke. "I would rather freeze forever than leave you here." Her tears fell on his icy chest, and a tiny crack appeared. His eyes blinked. "Lina?" he whispered. The hearth-stealer hissed. "Final test!" She threw down a black cloth stained with something dark, like burned hope. "Clean this," she said. "If you fail, he stays." Lina remembered Ember. Small warmth, honest warmth. She placed her hands on the cloth. "Ember, wake." Gentle heat spread. The stain began to lift, like darkness leaving a room. Lina whispered, "Flame." The cloth turned white, clean as new snow. The hearth-stealer screamed like ice breaking. Her body cracked with light. The furnace shook. Black ice shattered. Stolen warmth rushed out into the world. The chains fell from the stagman. He stood fully human, breathing like someone waking from sickness. "You came," he whispered, eyes wet. "I had to," Lina said. They ran as the furnace collapsed behind them. Outside, the east wind waited. It carried them home. Lina's family held her tightly. The mother wept. "I'm sorry I planted fear," Lina answered softly. "Fear speaks loudly, but it is not always right." The stagman became the prince he was meant to be, no longer hidden, no longer trapped. And Lina remained what she always was, A girl with a steady heart, not perfect, but brave. Moral: don't steal trust with fear. True love protects, waits, and makes things free.